Hi, everybody, and welcome back to a new week. In the word work tray, where we have been keeping some of our materials, you will see a packet that has some pages that look like this. And I'm going to give you an overview of what you'll be working on in the pages that look like this in the coming weeks. You're going to be adding information in all of the sections where you see a line like this, all of these lines, as well as these down here. I'll also ask you to circle the roots and underline the prefixes and the suffixes in this group of words here. I'd like you to work on this Monday through Wednesday, so you have 3 days to work on it. And during those days, I will also be checking over what you've done and letting you know that you are on the right track by leaving you notes and putting stars on things that are correct, letting you know that everything that you've done is correct. And if you have anything that needs to be fixed, you can make any changes. You can also check in with me by private message if you have questions, or I might also leave messages for you there too. So when you start your word work each day, you should check the Google Classroom for the assignment, as well as any notes I might have left from the previous day. So let's take a look at the page overall. We'll often have a prefix, at least one, maybe more than one. We'll have a root. Sometimes we'll even have more than one root. And then we'll also have suffixes. And you'll see that each week we'll be using these parts to create some words that have a common root and often have a common meaning as well. Now, something to notice is that these prefixes all have a particular meaning, and also that these suffixes, while they do have a meaning, we're going to be thinking about other words that we know that have these same endings, because that will often help us identify the part of speech, because that's what's going to go on these lines here. We'll be using these spaces to identify what part of speech is a word that has these endings. In order to help with that, I've made a list of words that I know of that have those endings, and I hope that you can use these to help you think about their part of speech. Let's look at the first one, for example, the word create. To create something is something that you do, so the word create is the word create is a verb. So what you'll do on your page is when we see the suffix ate, to make or to act, we're going to label that as a verb, and I'd like you to write that on your paper. And again, you can use those helping words that I gave you to see if you can figure out what part of speech each one of those suffixes creates, or how that word is used in a sentence. And please do use a pencil. It's okay if you make any mistakes. I'll take a look at it and see if I agree with your answers, and we'll work on that together. The next part, after you've completed this section and you have circled and underlined all of these word parts, is to figure out what part of speech each word is. And you can use this information to help you. So the word that ends with the suffix ate, like the word create, we talked about the fact that that's a verb. So if I look here at the word that ends with ate, regenerate, that is also a verb. Now, sometimes these don't match up perfectly. For example, er, that which or one who. You can see here that our helping word with the er suffix is writer. A writer is one who writes. What part of speech is that? Yep, the word writer is a noun. The word gender is a noun. But this word down here, engender, Because it ends with the ER suffix, we might think that it's a noun, but I want to let you know that the word engender is a verb. So for today's activity, what I will expect to see is that you have these word parts circled and underlined. We're circling the roots and then underlining the prefixes and suffixes, so I'll see that here. I want you to fill in the rest of these parts of speech. You can use the helping words on the Google Classroom assignment. And then I want you to go through and see what part of speech these other 3 words are, using those suffixes to help you. I look forward to seeing your work, everybody.